And hello, welcome back. In this video, we are going to cover my new Technomancer build. If you're looking for some meta, toxic round, easy mode build, this is absolutely not for you. I have a video I did recently on that, link it below. This one is going to be more fun, less powerful, and more of a showcase to see how you can build the Technomancer without using toxic rounds. This Technomancer is the stunlock champion. It is very, very fun to play, not that hard to make work, and actually really tanky, even though your health pool is incredibly low. We will cover the skills utilized, the class tree, the gear used, and the pros and cons of this build. The skills we are utilizing are Scrap Grenade times 6, that's right, 6 of those bad boys, Pain Launcher, and Blighted Turret. Pain Launcher isn't a humongous source of damage, but it does provide a massive amount of stun frames, especially when you throw it at the feet of an elite who is trying to beat your meat. You put them into a stun lock phase, they're not able to attack you for the duration of the ability. For our skill tree, we're going to be spec'd primarily into the Demolisher bottom portion of the tree. This is going to be an anomaly power based build, utilizing all of the anomaly power nodes. Using our Scrap Grenades and or our Blighted Turret, we're going to buff our anomaly power up. This setup also provides us with good resistance piercing, which helps all of our anomaly power abilities. Want to make sure that we can focus on getting the cooldown reduction nodes. We want those Scrap Grenades to come back as quickly as possible. For our gear, we're going to be utilizing a one-shot rifle with either Grand Opening or Scrap Grenade. Very fun to use, good damage output. Our gun itself does no damage essentially, as we have no firepower buffs, but that's okay. It's mostly just to supplement our abilities when they are on cooldown. This build utilizes the Torrential Downpour set, getting that sweet Scrapnel cluster grenade buff that scales with anomaly power, more damage. I tried a couple different variations of this build. One of the ways was stacking as many pieces of unstoppable force as possible. Unfortunately, the anomaly power capped out at around 300k, which wasn't really high enough to supplement the damage output, which is why we utilize the Euthanizer buff. This gives us 25% more damage against targets which are afflicted with poison. That's going to be all the time since the cooldown on our Blighted Turret is really quick. We are going to utilize every single Scrap Grenade buff available to us. This includes buffing the damage, buffing the amount of charges, and buffing the radius of the explosions. Our Scrap Grenades are absolutely our primary source of damage, as well as being really fun to use. This is why you get those vicious stun locks. You have 6 Scrap Grenades. Brood mothers, you stand in their face, you just pop, throw those grenades at them, and they can't even attack you. It's not impacting status effect resistance. It is merely putting them into stagger frames, which is why this build is the stunlock champion. Every single one of your abilities provides you with stagger immune frames. This is my favorite part of this character because getting staggered is incredibly annoying. We utilize Pain Launcher to subsidize our damage as well. I like to run the cooldown mod on the Pain Launcher. This gets our cooldown for Pain Launcher down to about 11-ish seconds. It's a really cool ability and it sounds awesome as well. Need to make sure we are running Damage Absorber. Without it, we are really squishy. We do get a buff with our class tree, which provides us 50% bonus armor every time we utilize the Scrap Grenades or the Pain Launcher, which is nice, but certainly not enough to keep us alive without this mod. Pros and cons of this build are as follows. It is literally nowhere near as powerful as any sort of toxic build. I basically set out to create a character that did not utilize toxic rounds because I wanted to see if it was in fact possible, and yes, it absolutely is. I have not been able to play with my friends yet and test this build. I think it will actually be helpful in team play, especially if you have a debuff Pyromancer. This will make your Scrap Grenades do an even more ridiculous amount of damage. In combination with the fact that you have massive stun locks and crowd control will mean that you will provide utility in the form of constant knockbacks and not allowing elites to get their attacks off. Surprising absolutely nobody, this build struggles with anything that can fly. That is the meta difficulty in this game. I have been running only Arch on this build because that is how I test my builds. It's because it is easy mode and also because you need the constant of knowing what time to beat when you're working on new mods. One of the hardest parts of this is when you kill the brood mothers, which actually are not that difficult to deal with. The Strix afterwards are so fucking annoying. Good luck. Your best bet is to simply run under their feet. They don't have feet. Is to run under their wings and to throw as many Scrap Grenades as you possibly can. They will die to those. It's just landing them is difficult because they can fly, obviously, and they dodge everything like they're methed out on trucker speed. If you have any ideas as to how to make this build better, I'd love to hear from it. I am pretty much done with the Technomancer. I'm sick of the fact that this guy requires a stupid meta build to make work, and if you use it, you're the most powerful character in the game, but if you don't, you suck. So if you have feedback, I'd love to hear it. Let me know. That's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to drop a like, comment, sub. Until next time, we out.